No, I came in the early 70s from Bangladesh. So I grew up, literally grew up in this country from my primary education.
I was born in Bangladesh, but I brought up in this country. I comes in here 1967. Since that, I was living in East London anyway.
My dad was already here, and then after the liberation war, he decided that he'll bring the family over.
I went to Britain 1973, just soon after the liberation war of Bangladesh.
Then we came in 72 August, yeah, to Brick Lane, because my father had very strong link with Brick Lane, and most of my relatives are living here as well.
I don't know, I feel like most people at that time, we are too excited to go out of the country, come here.
So when we come to London, we had a small flat with 2 rooms. My dad rented it for only 50p a week. We did not have shower in that flat. My mom used to use a bucket.
It was a very deprived area. When we first came here, of course, we didn't have indoor bath. To have a proper bath, we went to a bath center. It was a Saturday treat.
It was pretty run down, but this was our home.
While a lot of our people were struggling for homes, a lot of people were on the waiting list, living in overcrowding situation, living in bad housing conditions. A lot of block of flats were also lying empty, while at the same time people were suffering or queuing up for homes.
So all the best houses went to white families, and the Asian had the bad housing. Of course, not only racism, there were racial attacks at the time, and some people wanted to be ghettoized because they felt more safe.
The level of deprivation they were suffering in places like Tower Hamlets, and it was a disadvantaged community without much opportunities.
The education standard was very low within the Bangladeshi community. The only career advice we used to get is that your father's a machinist, so why don't you go into leatherwork courses, etc. They didn't want to push us into higher education.
I left school at 15, partly because I was not able to cope with the demands of the educational system due to the lack of language skills. I also had to fend for myself, so I had to work in initially catering on a part-time basis to earn my living.
And we start spending our, what you call childhood life or teenage life, I don't know, in Brick Lane, amongst the adults in Brick Lane.
Brick Lane was always very busy. Brick Lane was the heart of East End, I think, it has always been.
My dad said you need to get a job at 14, and he took us to a place where people were sewing, sewing machines, garment factories.
Soon I became 16, and then I did go to work because I thought I must help my father, because he's here, and I'm 16-year-old. Yeah, I can study later. That's what my thinking was. And first I started working in a cloth factory.
At the time, this was the industry that everybody, most ethnic minority communities were involved in.
We was not really accepted by this white host community. There was no real appreciation that we are in here, we are helping the country, we are paying the tax.
Because I think they also believe that these are people who are taking away our jobs and houses and everything, and nothing was taken from them by the Bengalis because the local white working class were not really interested in working in the rag trade, but they forgot or did not have the intelligence to understand that we happen to be here because of the legacy of the British Empire.
I thought they're supposed to love us. They living with us for 200 years. I thought Britain will love us. But in fact, they hated us.
And so it was depressing, you make your contribution to the economy, and of course you benefit from that yourself. But then the people in the neighborhoods that you live in or belong to are not really happy with your presence. The community, in essence, did not only lack opportunities, but it was under siege from the thugs of National Front who were terrorizing people on the streets.